Warning: contains gore and disturbing dialogue. Viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 14. Stephany, Redclaw's predecessor. Years ago, a young Stephany lived with her mother. While most and all leaf eaters believed Sharptooth were brainless monsters, they were anything but. True, they fed on the flesh, but they all knew there was a balance in the circle of life. Without the leaf eaters, they wouldn't survive. Thus, they only killed when they needed to feed. Stephany, though, killed for other reasons. A small Stephany looked down, holding a small furry creature in her grasp. It squirmed and cried out, clawing her to release it. Though Stephany didn't, only applying more pressure, hearing the bones crack and blood pool under the tiny being. A sweet fragrance of blood wafted up and into her nostrils, bringing a smile to her face. She dug her claws into the fur, piercing the flesh and killing the creature at long last. When it went still, she used her other hand and dug her thumbs into the furry creature's stomach, peeling it open to look over its inner organs. Instead of eating it, she left it and rose, turning when her mother came over. "Stephany, what are you doing?" "Nothing, Mother." Stephany's mother glanced at the dead furry creature and then at the bloody hands of her daughter. "Stephany, why would you kill that creature? We just ate." "I was bored, and it was there. What more is there to say?" Stephany spoke, showing little pity for the dead being. "It's just food, after all. It's not like us." "Dear, there is a balance. You can't kill unless you're hungry. It'll mess up the entire system." "Okay, Mother, I'll do as you ask." Stephany knew if she wished to torment and kill creatures, she'd have to do it when her mother wasn't around, out hunting or was visiting with the alpha known as Redclaw. Stephany met Redclaw only a few times. Redclaw was interested in her, knowing she'd grow to be bigger than himself. "Your daughter will be my predecessor and will take the alpha spot when I pass on," Redclaw said, words that gave Stephany hope and pride. Though as she grew and left out on her own, she moved up from the furry creatures to larger animals, the leaf eaters. She found a family, cornered them, and nabbed the slowest, taking them away from the rest to toy with. Her latest catch was a spiketail, the being trying to strike her with its tail. "Can't have that." With a snap of her jaw, she bit the tail, cutting it off from the rest of the body and tossing it aside. With one less moving part, she could pick, cut, and study the spiketail properly. "Let's see. These spikes sure are interesting." Gripping one, she began to pull until she ripped it from the back, blood pooling from the wound. "Stephany!" called the voice of Redclaw. "What are you doing?" "Studying it," Stephany answered, grabbing and tearing another one loose. "Care to watch?" "Either kill it and eat it, but don't toy with the leaf eater." "Why do you care? They're stupid and dumb, not like us." Redclaw went and pushed her aside, biting the spiketail on the neck, killing it quickly. Once the creature stopped moving, Redclaw turned to her. "If I catch you killing and doing this again, I will banish you." "You can't banish me. I'm your predecessor." A tail swung and caught her along the cheek, sending her to the earth. Down, Redclaw placed a foot to her side, pinning her easily. "Don't talk back to me. I may have bestowed the title upon you, but I am still the Alpha. And should you disappoint me, I'll take your title away." Stephany gave a small nod, feeling Redclaw's weight lift from her. Once free, she got to her feet and saw him leave, growling and storming off. While she said she wouldn't, she figured what Redclaw didn't know wouldn't hurt her. Thus, she continued to track, slay, and torment her prey. Course, Other Sharptooth took notice of her senseless killings, reporting to the Alpha, which meant she had to be on the move, not wanting Redclaw to find and punish her. Unfortunately, Redclaw was a great tracker and managed to catch up with her, catching her off guard. "Stephany!" Redclaw stood before her, gazing at her with disappointment. "I warned you, told you not to disturb the balance of our world. If you kill too many leaf-eaters, food will run short for the rest." "There's no possible way to kill too many. They'll keep populating, manage to fill our stomachs." "You leave me no choice. I banish you, Stephany, to the wastelands, where you will remain till I say otherwise, or die, whichever comes first. Be on your way, unless you wish to fight." Being smaller and not her full height, Stephany knew better than to challenge Redclaw. "Very well, but someday you'll die and I'll be back, and when I do, I'll be the Alpha. No one will be able to argue against me. No one will be able to stop me from killing and doing as I please." Redclaw bared his fangs, knowing Stephany wasn't one to give up. She would return and continue her sport and would be unstoppable. All he could do was hope she'd not survive in the wastelands and perish. Being banished didn't sit well with Stephany, and she took her anger out on a lone leaf-eater who was unfortunate enough to be in her path. Stephany chased the duckbill, taking it down and breaking its legs and arms, hearing it scream in pain. Watching it, she didn't kill it, waiting, seeing the creature slowly and painfully pass. She was so caught up, she jumped when someone spoke. Excuse me, are you going to eat that?" Turning, Stephany saw a horned Sharptooth, a male, though he was skinny, underweight, and shaky from lack of nutrition. "Help yourself. I'm not hungry." "Thanks." The guy lunged and dug in, tearing the flesh and devouring the meat in whole chunks. Mouth full, he looked to her. "So, how come you didn't eat it?" "Oh, well, I like killing plant-eaters just to watch them die." "Huh. I never heard of such a thing. Though I thank you for sharing your kill." "What's your name?" "I'm Stephany, the future Alpha." "Future Alpha? Well, I'm honored to meet you. I'm Steven." "If you'd like, you're free to tag along. I've just been banished to the wasteland." "If it means getting a nice meal, sure. I'd love to be one of your followers." "Followers?" "Yep, a member of your newly formed pack. After all, an alpha needs a pack, those who are loyal and will do anything for their leader." "Okay, I like that. Come, Steven. I think this is the start to a beautiful friendship." The pair continued their journey, stumbling upon an odd sight. A set of Sharptooth were preying upon a downed Sharptooth. Given there were two of them, Stephany signaled for them to attack. The four fought. The one on the ground rose and joined Stephany, glad to be saved. When the three were victorious, they watched the pair flee. "You okay?" Stephany asked, till she noticed the Sharptooth was covered in what looked to be fur. "Wow, you're quite an odd one." "Yeah, that's why they were picking on me, 'cause of my feathers." He rubbed his arms, lowering his head. "Tell you what, why don't you join our pack? I'm Stephany, the future Alpha." "I'm Frank, pleased to be invited." Frank wasn't the last to join, the group coming upon an injured Sharptooth flyer and providing aid to her. She was called Talon, and she pledged her loyalty to Stephany, helping the group navigate from the air when she was able to fly. When they finally came upon the wasteland, it wasn't too horrible. There was a stream with fresh water, and a few plant-eaters passed by, allowing it enough food to get by, but nothing more. In the coming years, Stephany grew more and more vengeful, planning to take Redclaw out herself. That was, till news came their way. A fast biter by the name of Blaze managed to make the long trip, carrying news with him. "Hey, it's Blaze!" called Talon from the sky. "Wonder why he's moving so slow." Maybe he was injured. "Stephany!" Blaze called, closing in, having cuts and bite marks on his body. "Stephany!" Stephany went and helped him along, setting him by the stream. "What happened? Where is your pack?" "I left them, due to the conflict of interest. He's dead. Redclaw is gone for good." "Wonderful. Now is the time for me to step up." Well, what I mean is Redclaw was killed by, some chump named Chomper." "Chomper? The wimpy Sharptooth? How can that be right? You must have misheard." "Nah, I saw it, ma'am. My pack and I tried to eat this fast runner, but he protected her. Thus we sought out Redclaw's help. Redclaw fought, and Chomper won, cut him down, right in front of me and my pack. I told them about you, that we should stand by the predecessor, not some fool of an alpha. For that, they cast me out, ran me off, like I was some no-good varmin." "Worry not, Blaze. You are welcomed upon my pack. Together we will take back what is ours. But it's getting late, and we should rest. We'll need our strength for the coming battle." "When I sleep at night, I let my dreams take wing, knowing that I'm big and strong. I'll be the alpha. I've been exiled, persecuted, left alone with no defense. When I think of what that brute did, I get a little tense. But I dream a dream so pretty that I don't feel so depressed, 'cause it soothes my inner demon and it helps me get some rest. The sound of Chomper's dying gasp, his lover squealing in my grasp, his leaf-eater friend's mournful cry, that's my lullaby. Now the past I've tried forgetting, and my foes I could forgive. Trouble is I know it's petty, but I hate to let them live. At last you're that somebody to chase Chomper off his turf. Oh, the battle may be bloody, but that kind of works for me. The melody of angry growls, a counterpoint of painful howls, a symphony of death, oh my, that's my lullaby. Redclaw is gone, but Stephany's still around, standing on her own 2 feet. Now that I'm a killer, with a lust for being bad. Now that you are big and strong, I'll be the alpha. The pounding of the drums of war, the sound of my mighty roar, the joy of vengeance, testify. I can hear the cheering. Stephany, what an alpha. Payback time is nearing, and then our flag will fly against a blood-red sky. That's my lullaby. Yes. By the first sight of the bright circle, the pack left the wasteland, making their way to the mysterious beyond, Stephany killing any herd that crossed them, moving on after they ate their fill. Talon, fly ahead and set his island ablaze. We'll need to flesh him out of hiding. Once you accomplish this, return and guide us to his location. Yes, my alpha. This is going to be great. Stephany watched Talon take to the sky and fade, grinning to herself, for Chomper's time as alpha would run out, and she'd take her rightful place as ruler over the mysterious beyond and all who lived there. Soon she'd get her well-deserved revenge.